What is good, guys and girls? It's your boy, this dude here, and today we got another episode of awesome, amazing animals. It's been a minute, I know. Today's subject at hand, literally, is the mantis shrimp. Let's go. Now, you guys know how we do this. What is a mantis shrimp? This is a carnivorous crustacean, very smart animal. Getting about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 9 inches long. There are about 500 species of mantis shrimp, coming in a whole host of colors. Some of them have every color on the spectrum. Some of them are just like brown. We're gonna break them down into two different categories: the ones that punch things and the ones that grab things, right? These are highly intelligent carnivores, so they hunt. In fact, watching them hunt is a modern marvel, something spectacular. These animals are incredibly smart. Their vision is next level, and watching them use their brain power paired with their vision and their weapons is absolute insanity. Mama said you can't just punch all your problems away, and both me and the mantis shrimp had the same answer. Why not? Now, you have the ones that just kind of hang out in their burrows and they reach up and grab things. Those mantis shrimp, to me, are absolutely terrifying. Their hands are modified like praying mantises, so they have sharp spines in the front. They can just hook big fish, small fish, any fish. Those are terrifying to me. They're kind of scary on some alien next level type stuff. I don't like those. They're scary. Very beautiful animals though. The ones I like are the ones that have the boxing gloves in the front. These guys just roll up and punch everything. Doesn't matter. Fish, crabs, other shrimp, they just box it out. They settle their issues and they hit really hard. I love these animals. That's kind of how they warn other animals when they're getting too close or they're uncomfortable with their presence. They kind of punch them, and they punch really hard. Now, they say the mantis shrimp's arms in the front are kind of like spring-loaded traps. They say that's almost how they function. They're almost like hydraulically launched, right? So that's how these animals are able to, well, in the case of the grabbing mantis, just reach these incredible speeds and scoop up fish. And then the punchers, these dudes, they create balls of light when they punch things. They punch so hard. It's insane, actually. You can hear it. If you have one in an enclosure and it's feeding time, you go to feed them, you can be clear in another room and hear them punching down their prey. It's crazy. And like we stated, there are about 500 species of these animals. They all hide in like the rocks, in between the rocks and the mud. And they say this is probably why this animal is so aggressive, because these areas where it decides to call home have been highly contested for millions of years. So we think this animal has just adapted to that particular tension, always on the run, always on the hunt, and always having to defend itself. So that's why we think these animals are super aggressive in defending their homes and their territories. Nonetheless, very beautiful animals. Like I said, they rock every color on the spectrum, and some of them are just your clear, dull brown, depending on where they call home. If they're in the lakes and stuff, usually they're just a brown color so they can blend in the rocks. And then the ones in the ocean, they're inside the coral and all of that, so they kind of take on a brighter pattern so they can blend in as well. Now, these two animals, we can't say they're the same animal, right? These two species, we're gonna say the punchers and the grabbers, their habitats are a little bit different. Your grabbers like to burrow their bodies down into like the sand and kind of look up and grab their prey from under. And the punchers will usually take over like a section of coral. So they'll go in and they'll have like almost like different hides inside of coral. And that's where they'll call home, just coming out to hunt and defend their grounds But yeah, their living styles are a little bit different. Makes sense. But nonetheless, they're both very beautiful, very intelligent animals. These animals will come to like recognize other animals that aren't a threat in their area and kind of coexist with them. If you keep these animals in captivity, you'll notice they have the ability to learn rather quick, catch on to patterns, and they recognize not only people but other animals too. Like I said, the other animals that live in their area. These animals are highly intelligent. Their brains are next level. And I think as far as like mating habits, both of these animals kind of do things a little bit different too. Now, I think one of them, I'm not even sure which one, I think it may be the punchers, only come together to mate. And I think the grabbers are like lifetime, but they bond, right? And they kind of stay together. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that in one case, you have mantis shrimp that stay together for 15 to 20 years. And then in other cases, you have mantis shrimp that only come together for the breeding season and that's it. And they say even in the monogamous pairs that they find, there's great variation in how these animals handle mating and the time after. Because like I said, there are about 500 species of these mantis shrimp. They say some of the eggs are carried under the female's carapace, like regular shrimp. They say some will lay a single clutch of eggs with both parents kind of defending the den. They say there are some where the females will lay two separate clutches of eggs, one that she defends and one that the male defends. And then there are other variations of how these animals handle this time within so many different species. It's actually kind of cool. All of them seem to be very successful in their mating and mating behaviors. A very long-lived animal. Like I said, the monogamous pairs are together 20 to 25 years. They've got it figured out. And they also say in a lot of cases that males and females will, if they stay together for life, they will coordinate their attacks and their defenses of said perimeters. These animals are just absolutely amazing. One of them is terrifying. Having two of them trained on you that's crazy. Now, mantis shrimp in some cultures are eaten much like we eat regular shrimp. Just think, the shrimp that we have blown up 20 times. In a lot of places like over in Vietnam, they are abundant. There are so many of these shrimp, and I don't think their numbers are affected at all. So this is not an issue. We're just gonna move on. Now, the peacock mantis shrimp is the one with all the colors, right? And this mantis shrimp is either really loved or really hated, I guess depending on the circumstances. If you're looking to build an enclosure for the mantis shrimp, then it's not a problem. But what happens is, a lot of the times, these animals are introduced to tanks hiding in coral, and people don't know. And because they're so smart and such voracious hunters, they end up taking out everything in the tank. So like I said, sometimes they're loved, sometimes I absolutely adore them. I like their entire mind frame behind their lifestyle. It's exactly like mine. You got a problem with something, just punch it. And if you are one of those people looking to get into breeding or just keeping peacock mantis shrimp, or any mantis shrimp for that matter, right? They are readily available on the market right now. You can find them from anywhere between $80 and about $200, depending on who's breeding and selling them, depending on the colors, because there's some variations. Some of them are just very red, and some of them are very blue, green. It depends on who you're talking to, but these animals are readily available. Like I said, bred in captivity, and they come in a whole host of colors. So if it's something you want to get into, they're there, right? And also do a little bit of research if you're gonna go that route. Make sure you get their diet right. But it's really practically everything. This isn't a care guide, but just keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you feed this animal right and feed it the right things it would see in the wild. Just do a little bit of research. Like I said, it's pretty much other crustaceans, small fish, squid, things like that. it's gonna make light work of them. And this animal will live anywhere between 5 to 20 years depending on you. If you get it down, and I know you're gonna get it. I know you got it. You got this. I know you got this. So if you get it, then you can look for your animals to be around for quite a while, right? Just like reptiles, you get it good, got them down in captivity, they're gonna be around for a while. I don't know, just something to think about, right? Anyways, I'm your boy Smith. This is All Things Living. I really do appreciate you guys coming out. Once again, you could have been anywhere on this planet, but you decided to be here with your boy. I appreciate that. Anyways, I'm out.